People think wakeboarding is for fun. It's not an actual sport. They think that it's like, okay, let me do this on weekends, like hiking or camping. But it's a very demanding sport. Like, it's an actually international sport in so many countries with proper federations and World Cups and series. And it's not just something for fun. It is an actual sport.
My name is Budoor and this is Off the Field, a show where I talk to Arab women in sports. In this episode, we are going back to the sea, but this time we are hanging by a thread. Some might say quite literally. Aya Ali talks about her experience as a wakeboarding athlete and discusses the need for this sport to be recognized in Oman, as it's very promising. Enjoy the show. So Aya, you DM'd me.
Yes.
And basically you said, hey, I'm an athlete, a wakeboarding athlete, and I want to talk about wakeboarding.
That's true.
Yes, and you are competing also soon in a competition that is happening in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
A Wake Fest.
Yes, Asian Wake Fest.
Asian Wake Fest. So let's wheel it all the way back.
Okay.
And just start from the beginning. So what inspired you to start wakeboarding?
I saw a couple of posts. I've actually done it, but I think it was like 2-3 years back, somewhere after COVID. And then it was something like, in a weekend getaway. And then I was like, okay, I saw a few posts of people, of actually females flipping and doing tricks, obviously professional females. And I was like, let me get back to the sport again. And it just gets you addicted. Like, the minute you start, you will not stop. And that's how sort of it started. So like, I went once and I was like, okay. And it's just now become like a weekend. Every weekend I've been there, I've been on the boat.
Okay, and now that you're training for it and you're actually in a school for it, how serious is it, or how many times do you train as a professional rather than someone who just does it in the weekend?
So basically, because of the work and because of the timings, and because obviously we can play when there's light or when there's sun. So if there's like before a competition, we train twice a week. So It's Friday, Saturday, and sometimes we can also train 2 sessions. So it's a morning session and then it's an afternoon session. So that makes it 4 times in a week.
Okay, so wakeboarding is quite new, I would say, in Oman.
Yes.
For it to have a school.
Yes.
So can you tell me, how would the training be? Yani, what do you do before you go on?
So we have something which is called land lessons, obviously depending on your level, basically, and the tricks that you're going to do. So we do a dry lesson where the coach will tell you that this is how you're doing the trick off the water, and then you jump into the water and then you try to simulate the same trick as well that you've learned it on the land lesson. So depending on your level, you start basic and then you grow until you do very advanced tricks.
Okay, and can you tell me how wakeboarding is different as a water sport than any other,
So we use a board which has boots in it, and then basically you just put your feet in the boots, and then there's a rope, which is stuck to the boat, boat, yes. And you try to get up using the rope, and obviously the boat pushes you, and then you do tricks from the wake. So like the wake is like, let's say it's the speed ramp, which gives you that pump to try to go up higher and to try to do the tricks, which is why it's called wakeboarding. So it all depends on the wake.
Okay, got you. And is it as fast as the boat goes, you can do more trick, or it has nothing to do with that?
That's what people think. Like, speed is not the issue. It's just the timing, and the timing of you getting the trick right, and the timing of you jumping properly from the wake. So people think, okay, if I have like a very big wake, I should be doing very difficult tricks. It does help, but it's not the only basic thing for like a player to do different tricks or advanced tricks or anything. It's just, it's skills, it's technique, it's the right time of you doing things, the right time to initiate your trick. A lot of technicalities in it.
Okay, and how long has it taken you personally to go from a stage of a beginner to now competing?
Almost like I've been doing it almost a year. So yes, almost a year. I wouldn't say like I'm professional, but like I've reached a stage where I can do a bit of few tricks, which also made me win a couple of medals in certain competitions.
Nice.
So yes, it's just dedication and practice, practice, practice. Just like any other sport, you need muscle memory. You need to make sure that you're there. You need to make sure that you're dedicated. You need to make sure that you're actually always coming on time, doing, giving the sport its time and giving the sport like what it needs for it to reflect back on you being an athlete.
Okay, so what is your trick? Like, what's Aya known for? Like, what's your ضربة قاضية? Like, in the competition, you're like, this is
I do something which is called a handle pass.
Okay.
So, like, you rotate the rope from behind your back.
While standing?
No, while jumping.
Okay.
So you jump, you go, you jump.
Okay.
And then you rotate it from behind your back.
So you let go of it for a bit?
No, you just like do this.
Just like that? Okay.
Yeah, so from the back. So this is my trick.
Nice.
Like I'm the only one that landed this trick from the back.
Okay.
Yes,
So
because my brain couldn't understand the other rotation.
tricks.
The other tricks. I was like, okay, let me just do this one.
So is that the one that you used for your first competition? When you
No, I played in a beginners category, the first competition. So there were a list of tricks that we were supposed to do, and this is what I did.
Okay, cool. And when was your first ever competition?
It was actually last November.
Okay.
So we participated in Asian Wake Fest, which is with the Asian Federation of Water Sports and Water Ski, and it was held in Abu Dhabi. It was my first ever competition. I was really nervous, but I ended up getting second place of like 5 or 6 athletes competing.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. See, and that was your first time. So
And that was my
this
first
time
time.
you're bringing back gold.
Yes,
Inshallah.
definitely.
Okay. So, can we talk more about the school now? Because it's the first ever wakeboarding school. in
It's
Oman.
the only like professional dedicated school with certified coaches which teaches the sport.
Okay.
So this is the only school in Oman which is doing this currently.
Okay, and what's the name of the school?
It's called Let's Fly.
Let's Fly. And is Let's Fly for all ages or is it for specific?
No, it's for all ages. We've had kids coming, so
How
4
young?
years, 4 years plus.
Wow.
You're actually supposed to start the sport like from this age.
Really?
Yes, we've had females, we've had males, we've had adults, we've had old, I don't want to say old people, but we've had like we've had old people. So this is a sport where anybody can do it.
So you have 4-year-olds at the back of a boat
Yes.
hanging.
Yes, I was trying to stand up. Yes, but it's beautiful, and you'd be surprised what these kids can actually do.
So how many times did you fall?
Did I fall?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like I think in the beginning it was like standing up, face plant. Yeah. Yes, face plant.
And do you have something covering your face?
Of course not.
Oh.
Otherwise you won't be able to see like no, but I mean
you have goggles, right?
no, the goggles for swimming, so you can't see, right? And we usually don't try to ride with things which would restrict your hazardness or your safety.
Got you.
So it's just a life jacket and your board, and that's it basically.
So the equipments are basically the board,
The board, yes.
and your
Life jacket and the rope.
That's it.
The rope, yes. But we do have a helmet, which we use it for, which we use it for very advanced tricks. Hopefully, just to
What
protect
kind of
it.
tricks would you use that you would need a helmet?
Obviously, anything which is like rotation or flips, so back flips, front flips, or spinning in the air, where your back, we have to use your head, and you're not seeing the boat during the rotation. Then we start using a helmet for it.
Okay. And one question about the wakeboard, since we're talking about the boats, how do you communicate the speed with the guy who is like
Our coach,
driving? Is it the coach that's
Yes,
driving
the coach is driving the boat, yes.
So you already communicated this before.
We, like in the beginning, if you're a beginner, the boat doesn't really go very fast, obviously, because what you're trying to do is learning how to stand up, which people think it's easy. We've had gym people with like gigantic arms not being able to stand. So yeah, it has nothing.
Because the weight is holding the
So it has nothing to do with the power.
Okay.
It's just basically the skill and obviously trying to listen to the coach's instructions on standing up. But after some time, we've learned a few, I wouldn't say sign language, but it's like languages of wakeboarding where the coach would do things with his hands, and then this is how we communicate, because you cannot hear him most of the time.
All right. right. What has been your biggest challenge that you faced since opening the school, yani since being part with the school, and perhaps the acceptance of society to attending school and being
I think
athletes?
people think wakeboarding is for fun. It's not an actual sport. Like they think that it's like, okay, let me do this on weekends, like hiking or camping. But it's a very demanding sport. It's an actually international sport in so many countries with proper federations and World Cups and series, and it's not just something for fun. It is an actual sport. And second of all, it's like it's very difficult, obviously, with new sports to make it reach a bit far. So we do need a lot of funding. We need recognitions from different authorities for us to have a federation, for us to be able to compete outside, and for us also host tournaments over here in Oman. So I think this is the kind of recognition that we currently need, is for the sport to be recognized publicly, so that we make sure that we can actually host tournaments, because Oman is beautiful in landscapes. I mean, when we ride in Bandar Khairan. It's between the mountains. It's beautiful. So imagine having like an international competitions between the mountains.
So until this day, Let's Fly has never hosted a wakefest.
We are going to host a national tournament in the next coming month, very soon, between the players over here in Oman, just so that we can promote the sport and we can also promote the school. And it's just generally to promote the sport in Oman.
Okay.
So we're hosting like a local competition somewhere in the next month or so. Yes.
And speaking of sponsors and funding, so far that's not possible. It never happened.
Not locally, but we've had a few players that got sponsored for gear.
Okay.
Yes. So, but it was from outside of the country, not. But I mean, again, like I said, because the sport is not very recognized, it's not very popular, so it's a bit difficult to get sponsors currently, or it's a bit difficult to also explain to them like, what am I doing with the sport? Because, like I said, people don't think that wakeboarding is a sport.
Yeah.
They think it's something for fun. So once this misconception goes away and people think that it's an actual competing sport where we can go and compete nationally and internationally, maybe then the sponsoring would come.
Okay, and is Let's Fly looking to be sponsored by companies and by...
Yes, we were looking at every opportunity, because like the gear is really expensive. It's not cheap at all. Yeah. And obviously flying and transportation and going to different competitions, travel expenses makes it difficult.
To operate the boat itself.
Oh my God. Yes, it is. It is very expensive, yes. So yes, we're obviously looking for sponsors.
All right, cool. And I hope you will get it, because girls competing and doing something like that and actually going to Asian Wakefest, which is what I was going to talk about to you next, is the Asian Wakefest. Can you tell us more about what is it? Are even girls participating this year from Let's Fly?
Yes, so Asian Wakefest is the Asian Federation for wake sports and water ski, and basically like has all the Asian countries which are registered in which have federations and are registered. So you have to have a federation to be able to be registered in the Asian Wakefest. So we are going it every year. It gets held in different countries, but for the past 2 years it's been held in Abu Dhabi. We've gone last year with Let's Fly. We've competed with 2 players, myself and another amazing rising star. He's called Amin. Mm-hmm. So we got second and we got 5th place overall. And it's happening again this year in November. And we are competing with actually a bigger team. So we're looking at 3 girls and maybe 4 to 5 boys competing in different categories. So it comes in different categories, which is the novice, the beginner category, and then there's the intermediate, and then there's the open, which is for very professional athletes.
And do you have someone in that?
Not now, but we do have people competing in beginners and intermediate for now.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yes,
but that's great, since you said last year was only the 2 of you, and this year you guys are 5. So there is acceptance.
Yes. People are very. I think when they saw us competing last year and winning, everybody got motivated to compete. So we've been training. We've had people doing the sport for like less than a year even, and showing very good results. And we're also going to compete with them this coming year, hopefully.
Inshallah. So let's talk a bit more personal about you now. Seeing that it's a water sport, and obviously you're a hijabi, and obviously being a hijabi, you have to dress modest. So just like seeing that it's a water sport and you're being a hijabi athlete, did you face any backlash with regards to somehow compromising the modest look going into water and out, falling in? going out?
Not at all. So yes, not at all. I mean, no one has actually given me,
Side
back
eyes.
talk or side eyes about, oh, you're a hijabi. I think it's actually on the contrary. Like people are very welcoming to the idea. We've seen like maybe other people, other hijabis, other women who maybe they were like trying to be on their comfort zone, but then when they see other hijabis doing the sport, they'll be like, okay, if she's doing it, then I can come and try.
Perfect.
Yes. So so this is really nice. Like when you try to encourage other people who are hijabis to try to come and do the sport, that's amazing.
So that's literally, it's not even stopping you. That's nothing.
Nothing at all. I don't think that there are any limits for a hijabi to stop. We've seen the people in the Olympics getting So I think the only limit is your mind. And as long as you're not trying to change yourself or you're trying to, change the society, maybe the society one day will accept you.
100%. And I love that you have such a positive and not even toxic community around you.
It's a beautiful family. So I think also one of the things that why I really loved wakeboarding is that our little family. So like we're not just doing wakeboarding, but sometimes we also hang out. We're always in touch with each other. We're always sending wakeboarding videos. We're laughing. We're having fun.
You have your own wakeboarding memes. Stuff that you
I mean, we made stickers, I think, of some of us falling as well.
That's so cool.
And then we started like circulating it around. So I think any sport would grow by its community, and we have like one of the best families ever for wakeboarding with Let's Fly.
That's nice to hear. That's really nice to hear.
It's literally like the event that I look forward to in the weekend. I was like, I'm meeting my second family. We're having fun. We take pictures. We take funny videos. Oh my god, yes.
That's so cool. So personally, for you as a female, how do you hope to inspire the next generation of female looking to become professional or even just athletes within the wakeboarding sports?
I'd love for parents in general to make their kids, especially females, come and try different things. It's also very useful if you start the sport like from a very young age. So I'd love to see more young females trying this sport, because why not? I mean, like maybe in another 2 or 3 years, if you start right now, they are going to reach somewhere. And obviously when we're like social media age and things like that, it's just going to go further.
Okay, and finally, is there anything that you would like to add before we conclude this beautiful interview that I don't want to finish?
Like I said, I'd love if the sport definitely gets recognized. It would really help us a lot as athletes, and also help us a lot as coming athletes. We've really had like a lot of people that the school started with just 2 people. So it was the coach and one of his.
Wow.
There were just 2 coaches. Yes.
And how many people are you now?
We are more than like literally 100 people that come on different times. So or 100 or 200 people. So
from 2 to 100 within 3-4 years?
Yeah, within 1 or 2 years. So so which is amazing. And more people are coming, and more people are trying to, and obviously when they see us on social media and posting things, they'd love to come, they'd love to try. So what I'd love is obviously for everyone to think of it as a sport, not just something to do it
you
for
do on
fun.
The weekend.
Yeah, it's also
something you just come in and be like, oh, I want to fall in water today.
Definitely. And I think that this would definitely help the school to grow. Hopefully when we get recognized, maybe if we can get a couple of sponsors, definitely hosting like a proper international tournament.
Let's Fly, like hosting. I would love to see other wakeboarders actually coming to Oman.
Exactly. That would
like
be amazing.
We have beautiful places.
We have beautiful landscapes, beautiful sea, beautiful beaches. So that would really help a lot.
All right. Thank you, Aya, so much for coming early in the crack of dawn to the studio. I really appreciate it, and I loved having you in the studio.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That was Aya Ali, a wakeboarding athlete going to the Asian Wake Fest, inshallah, in November. Thank you very much for listening. See you next time. Bye.